One of the prisons that we often find ourselves inside of that's really, really hard to escape because of the way we've defined the word and the way we avoid the truth of our dysfunction is the prison of depression. And you can walk slap out of the prison of depression just by knowing the truth, right? So let's look at it real quick. When you are sad, know that this need not be. Depression comes from a sense of being deprived of something you want and do not have. Remember that you are deprived of nothing, except by your own decisions. By what? Your own decisions. And then decide otherwise. The first step to leaving the prison of depression is realizing how idiocratic it is for you to be sitting as a creation of the creator of all things that are good and whole, that were given to you before you ever were given a body. It all belongs to you. So for you to get it in your head that there's something that you want that you can't have because it's being deprived from you by another person or by a mindset or by a group of people or a government or you are plumb out of your mind. You've lost sight of reality. You are away from your identity, and that's causing you to have emotional reactions that is trying to lead you back to the truth of yourself. Depression is a gift. D is to be removed, away from, out of. Pression is the act of pressing. Depression is the consequence of you being out of alignment with your true nature. How can anything be withheld from you? How could you be deprived of anything that is good? And all things that were truly created and that truly exist are good because they were created by a good creator. We talk about this all the time. So right there, that $4,000 counseling session, that big bill that's going to end up on your credit, that's going to become the next reason that you're depressed. Hey, look, it's over. You know right now, based on truth, factual information, that depression comes from holding the idea that something or someone is being deprived or withheld from you. Now I want you to consider all of the places and all of the spaces that you have held such a belief. You hold the belief that God withholds good from you until you do certain things or don't do certain things anymore. You believed that your parents withheld things from you. You believe now that your spouse and your loved ones and relationship partners withhold things from you. You check your kids constantly to see if they're withholding things from you. Because you always have a sense based on the recollection of your past. You're always checking. You're always checking everywhere and everybody to see if you're being deprived of something that you have judged as good and yours. A lot of the things that you call yours can't even be possessed. Like you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or somebody that you're interested in or exclusively partnered with in relationship and communication and sexual interaction, and you say that that person is yours. That person is not yours. That person belongs to their creator, and you did not create them, even though the person that you intertwine and intermingle with on the daily, for the most part, is a full-blown creation of your imagination and not that other person at all, which is why you teeter and totter between approval and disapproval of them based off your interpretations of what they're doing without clear communication in between the two of you. They're not a possession. That's my dog. Well, that's a dog that you may have purchased and you may have taken on the responsibility of providing for, but you didn't create it. In my house, I get it, but you lease it. That's technically your landlord's house. In my car, technically that belongs to Bank of America. Like we're constantly taking possession of things, and then when things are stripped from us by their true owners, especially material things, because The things that belong to us genuinely are spiritual gifts that can never be taken by anyone in any way. What really belongs to you can never be stolen, but what has been acquired by the sweat of your brow is what you obsess over. And you're constantly monitoring and putting alarms on and putting locks on it to make sure that nobody takes it from you, because you know, deep inside you know, for you to go back into a state of being deprived of any of the luxuries that you have identified as yours will lead you slap into depression once again, because that's where it comes from. You're not depressed because she left you. You were not depressed because he cheated on you. You were depressed because you took possession of a person and they showed you with their actions that they did not live under your control and your rule. And you felt that you were being deprived of the luxury of having control over one that you have an attachment and obsession with. It's not love. Love doesn't lead you to depression. Having love for someone who does you wrong does not carry you into depression. Having love for someone that does you wrong keeps you from going into depression, because what you were extending to this person was unconditional. It wasn't based on their performance. So when they started to drop the ball, you were able to continue in your true, genuine presentation built off of your identity as love. Their presentation was connected to your performance. So when they asked you to do something and you did not have the desire to carry it out or didn't do it in a timely manner, they were affected, and their presentation of "I love you too" took a blow. You've submitted and dedicated your life to people who can't even open their mouth and articulate words clearly to you respectfully when they disapprove of something that you've decided for yourself. And I'm telling you, this is not love. This is not a relationship. This is a prison. You are not a partner. You are a hostage. And being their hostage always leads you into feeling deprived of love, which takes you into depression. It's important that we learn about prison. One prison leads to another. One cell connects to the next cell block. Just like one illusion carries you to the next illusion. Just like one lie takes you to the next lie. Just like one fear leads you to more fear. If you entertain where you are, you'll get more of the same. There's no one who does not have God, source, the creator, I am on the inside of them. So if you do not hear the voice of God, it's because you do not listen for the voice of God. It's probably because you're so tuned in to the voices of the ego that are many and loud and screaming and all unbeneficial and delusional. Anxious, realize that anxiety comes from the shifty, shaky nature of the ego, and know that this needs not be. You can be as vigilant against the ego's dictates as you are for them. So as much as you have submitted and as much as you have gone along with the illusionary voices that are on the inside of you that have all formulated in your ignorance of what truth is and how it applies to you by your design, not your performance, you have partnered with these voices. And if you partner with the truth of you, if you will learn what your true identity is, as says your creator, and you stand firm on the truth of your creator, you can elude, evade, and completely avoid the voices of the ego that you have given your life to, that have led you in circle after circle after circle. It's a real life reference of depression. I sat in depression as long as I blamed my depression on exterior sources, as long as I said it was what they did, what they said when they left, how they attacked me, how they turned on me and I never expected it, how I thought that I would be at a better place than I am now, and I can't get back the decisions that led me to the present moment. It was the imaginations that I carried, the pictures that I harbored on the inside that haunted me as I laid down and tried to have a peaceful night of sleep. You depressed yourself. You're not in depression. You are the product of the act of depressing. You left the truth of yourself. You walked away from your identity. Apart from it, you were. And apart from your identity, you pressed yourself down and minimized yourself into what you thought you were. You reduced yourself to your own image, the one that you conjured up in ignorance. And you know how that felt for you? Same as it felt for me. And the only word that we know medically, scientifically, literally to explain it is depression. I'm sad and I don't know how to undo it because I'm thinking about something a particular way and I don't know another way to see it. But you don't want to see it. You're not ready to feel better. You will be ready to feel better when you hear information like this and you can embrace the fact that you did it to yourself, and you can look back at the story and you can see when that person hurt you, how you had attached yourself to them in ways that you never should have, and it was you that left yourself vulnerable and subjectable to the shaky shifty turns of their ego as you relied on the voices of your own. Nobody did this to you. Nobody put you in prison. Nobody told on you and got you locked away. You went out there and you put your trust and your faith in somebody that you knew from the jump was not dependable because you were not dependable. So you built the dependency on somebody else who carried the same dysfunction as you, and you should have knew that, but you did not know universal law at the time to know that this person in front of you was not greater than, they were your reflection. So you leaned on them, which was really just leaning on you, and you got more of the same. And if they changed and they elevated, you took issue with them. You felt like they deprived you of some information or some opportunity, and that just led you to more depression. It's time for you to stand up on your own feet, your own 10 toes. You are responsible for yourself. You are responsible for your thoughts. You are responsible for your life. You are responsible for your experience as I am. Go be. Lock in.